The next question is building relationship between the tables. So to do that, you remember that it is under database tools and relationships, and you need to show table and add all three of them. And then look, what do they have in common? So we see that agency and realtor has the agency number in common, and then listings and um, realtor has have the realtor number in common. So you need to put them beside each other or rearrange them so the ones that have things in common are beside each other. So now I see that here I have agency number that is common. Remember that you always drag the one that has the primary key beside and you put it on top of agency number. When I was grading the exam, people were trying like to connect with different variables. It has to be the same. You cannot choose any one variable. So it has to be both the same on both sides. I cannot take agency number and put it on top of realtor number. That will not work. It has to be a common attribute. And you always drag the one with the primary key. Then you enforce referential integrity, cascade update, cascade delete. And we said these mean that that there will be consistency between the tables. I will not create realtors for an agency that does not exist. If I make changes to the agency, it will reflect in the realtor table. If I delete an agency, I will delete all realtors that belong to it. And then we click create. Now here we have the realtor number common. We said we always drag the one with the primary key. We enforce referential integrity, cascade update, cascade delete, and click on create. So that's all for establishing relationships. You need to arrange the tables so the ones that have things in common are beside each other. You need to drag whatever is common has to be a primary key in one table, and we call it here a foreign key. We have it inside of we have agency number inside of the realtor table just to be able to connect these two tables. So I'm gonna save and I will close. The next question asks you to create a query that lists, I think, ranches for that are between $200,000 and $250,000. So to create any query, click on the create button and you click on query design and add all three tables. And you add the tables by just double clicking on them. I like to rearrange them, but there isn't anything. I mean, like, it won't take points from you. Let's see the exact question. So the question wanted the realtor first name, last name, type, area, square footage, and asking price. So we really don't need the agency table. You're going to delete that one. And now if we run the query, we get everything. But remember we said range, so the type has to be range. So that means that I will add a criteria under type and type in range. And I also want the asking price between 200 and 250. You can either type in between 200,000 and 250,000. And run, and you have only Mary Dell that is offering a range. The other thing that you see on the exam, it actually says realtor first name, realtor last name, which means that in here, in the design, you will change the properties for each. I'm trying to bring it so that you can see the caption will have to be a realtor first name. Remember, to be able to see the properties, all you have to do is just highlight the column and right click and choose properties. And remember, and you change the caption. Now you'll do the same for the last name. So when I run it, now I see that I have a realtor first name, a realtor last name. Okay, so that's for the first query. You're going to save it as ranches between 200 and 250 pounds. We'll close that. The next query asks you to create the minimum, maximum, and average of each type of listing. So again, I'm going to click on create query design. I know that all I need is inside of the listings table, so that's all I need to add, because it said minimum, maximum, and average asking price for each type. So I'm going to click on type first, and then I need the three things for the asking. So I'm going to add asking 3 times. And actually majority of you got this question correct. And I remember that totals allow me to create the minimum, maximum, and average. So I'm going to click on it. That adds the group by. And I told you the group by will change for variables that has a number that are numeric. So asking price is the numeric, but type is not. So I leave it for type. And then for this, I'm going to change it to min, average, and max. And the last thing is that I'm going to change the caption for each. So min, I'm going to type in lowest price. And then the average, I'm going to type in average price. Remember, it's just the caption that you are changing. And the max, you will type in highest price. And now if I run it, then I have exactly what I asked you to create. Okay, so I'm going to save that as statistics. And my last query asked me to create a calculated field where you're asked to add an agency name, the realtor first name, last name, type, square footage, asking price, and then give a 5% discount for those listings that have has a price of more than 250,000. So it says here give a 2% discount, and the actual query shows a 5%. It really doesn't matter. I didn't take point off for this. Whichever is you do is correct. So I'm going to close that. Again, remember creating a new query. We click on query design, and we add the realtor and the listing. And we actually need the agency also because it asks you for the agency name. So if you forgot to add one thing, you can always click on design and show table. So now I want to add the agency name, the realtor first name, the realtor last name, we've added it twice, and we want the type, the square footage, and the asking price. And once I have all of them, agency name, first name, last name, type, square footage, and asking price, I know I need to add a calculate field, but I'm not able. Please remember, you are not able to add the calculated field until you save the query. So the first thing I'm going to do as soon as I finish adding all of my fields except the last one, I'm going to save it and save it as discounted listing. Now that I have saved it, I can move to a new column and I'll click on Builder and say that new variable that I want to add is the asking price minus a 2%, which means multiply by 0.98. When you take the 2% away, that will give you the price after discount. So if I tell you, give me the price after 5% discount, you multiply by 0.95. Give me the price after 15% discount, then you will multiply by 0.85. And I noticed that it calls it expression 1, and I'm going to delete that expression 1, but I will leave the colon. Make sure that you leave the colon in there, that 2 dots. Leave them, but change the expression 1 to price after discount. And now when we run it, we have the agency name, the first name, last name, type, square footage, asking, and price after discount. If I want to change the realtor first name and realtor last name, I'm going to go, remember, and I said that I will highlight the R first and go and add the caption realtor first name. I did not take points off on the exam for that, but in the makeup maybe I will. So you have to know how do you change the title for each of the columns. So now when I run it, I see I have a realtor first name and a realtor last name. That's all for the queries. You will get exactly the same type of queries for in the make.